was late evening in the small town of Crestview when maintenance worker Ellen Briggs stayed back to fix a flickering light in room 209 of Crestview High School. The school, known for its century-old foundation, had stood through wars, storms, and even an unexplained fire decades ago that destroyed the old library wing. Ellen had worked there for over 10 years and often joked about how the school never slept, but that night, those words came alive in the worst possible way. As the last of the teachers left, Ellen entered room 209 with his toolbox and flashlight. The light switch crackled weakly. The fluorescent tubes above flickered like dying fireflies. He climbed the ladder, humming softly, unscrewing the faulty bulb. That's when he heard it, a faint whisper. First, it sounded like the breeze through the vents, but then it grew clearer, closer, like someone murmuring right behind him. He froze. The classroom door was shut. No one should be there. "Hello," he called out, half laughing at his own nervousness. Silence. Then came a slow dragging sound like shoe scuffing against the floor tiles. Ellen turned his flashlight toward the noise. A beam caught the student desks empty, lined in perfect rows, but at the back corner, one chair rocked gently, moving by itself. Ellen stepped closer. The air grew colder with each step. His breath fogged up in front of him, his fingers trembling. Suddenly, "He's still here." The sound was so soft, yet it echoed through the empty halls. Ellen spun around, heart hammering, but the intercom switched off abruptly. He dropped his wrench when he saw the chalkboard. Words were forming on it, as if written by an invisible hand. "Help US." The chalk scraped against the board without anyone touching it. The lights were dimmer. The red safety exit signs flickered. It was as if the building had aged 50 years in minutes. Old burned posters hung from the walls, and the faint smell of smoke filled the air. Ellen's chest tightened. That wing had burned down decades ago. He'd seen the sealed doors himself. He reached out, hand trembling, and touched the knob. It was scorching hot. Then, from behind the door, came a soft crying, the sound of children weeping. He backed away, whispering, "This isn't real. This isn't real." But it was. The door creaked open by itself, revealing the charred remains of shelves, desks, and books. Smoke curled from the ceiling, though there was no fire. And among the ashes, he saw them, faint outlines of children sitting at burned desks, their faces blackened, their eyes hollow. One girl stood, her hair singed, clutching a burned book. She looked right at him and whispered the same words again, "He's still here." Ellen turned and ran, tripping over debris that wasn't there seconds ago. When he burst through the exit, he fell onto the cold pavement outside. The fire department later confirmed. Room 209 hadn't existed for decades. It was part of the old library ruins. Ellen never came back to work, but some nights, security cameras still pick up faint chalk writing on the blackboard in that corridor. The words change each time, but the message always stays the same: "Help us." And if you ever walk through a dark, empty school hallway at night, listen carefully, because some lessons, it seems, are taught long after death. The second story comes from Silver Creek Middle School, a quiet suburban campus known for its friendly students and well-kept grounds. But behind the cheerful murals and morning announcements, there was one locker no one ever used, locker 392. It sat at the end of the east wing hallway near the abandoned gym. Students joked it was haunted because every time someone tried to open it, the handle refused to move even when unlocked. The janitor said it was jammed from rust, but strange things started happening around it. One morning, a student named Mara Jennings dropped her books near that locker. As she knelt to pick them up, she swore she heard knocking from inside. She froze, listening closer. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, steady, deliberate. She thought it was someone playing a prank, so she laughed and tapped back. But the response came instantly, 3 sharp knocks that made the metal vibrate. She told her teacher, who brushed it off, saying it was just old pipes. But that night, Mara had a dream. She was walking through that same hallway, except all the lockers were open, and from each one, cold mist poured out. Locker 392 was the only one closed. She approached it, and a voice from inside whispered, "Find me." The next day, Mara couldn't stop thinking about it. During lunch, she went back with 2 friends and a screwdriver. They wanted to open it to see what was really inside. They worked the latch, prying it loose. When the door finally gave way, a gust of cold air hit them. carrying the faint smell of rot. Inside, there were old books, a cracked photograph, and a set of bones small enough to belong to a child. They screamed and ran for the office. The school shut down that entire hallway for investigation. The authorities confirmed the bones were real, belonging to a girl who'd gone missing over 40 years ago, a student who was last seen walking home after detention. But the detail that chilled everyone to the core was this: her name tag, found in the locker, read Mara Jennings. Mara's parents couldn't explain it. Neither could the police. There was no record of another girl with that name, no connection, nothing. But after that day, Mara changed. She stopped talking, barely slept, and often stood by locker 392 after school, staring at it for hours. One night, the janitor making rounds saw Mara standing there again. He called out, but she didn't turn. He walked closer and realized the locker was open, and Mara was slowly stepping inside. He shouted, running toward her, but the door slammed shut before he could reach her. When he yanked it open again, the locker was empty. Mara was gone. The police searched the entire building, but no trace was found. The only thing left behind was her ID card, lying on the floor in front of locker 392. They sealed the hallway permanently after that. Yet even now, teachers claim to hear knocking sounds echoing from behind the walls. And sometimes, when the night lights flicker, a small handprint appears on the metal surface, just below the number 392. If you felt the chill down your spine, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Our real-life school horrors are coming soon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Ending, the third story is yours. The final story isn't written yet, because it might belong to you. Think about that one hallway in your school that always feels colder than the rest. That one classroom where the lights flicker even when new. Or that one stairwell where footsteps echo long after you've stopped walking. Every school has secrets buried within its walls, tragedies forgotten, names erased, souls left behind. And sometimes, when the night is silent enough, those lost students find their way back, looking for someone to remember them. So tonight, when you walk past your school, don't look too long into the dark windows. Don't listen too closely to the empty halls, because if you do, you might just hear them whispering your name next. If you love true horror stories like this, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with someone who dares to watch alone. New terrifying stories drop every week only here